Being Denji is suffering, being Kobani is suffering. Being in Chainsaw Man is suffering, and we are all going to suffer right along with them in this chapter of depression, sorrow, emotional exhaustion, and realization as Denji is forced to face up to the emotional weight of everything that has happened, and now he has nowhere to run to. No Makima to take control, no power to come bring him back, and no Aki to support him, nothing but a depressed young woman and a tired old mentor. But before I get into the review proper, I'd like to remind you that if you like what I'm doing, or you want to see me make a change to my review style, my channel, or something else to do with my video making methods, you can go down into the comments and give me advice. I'm always open to hearing how I can improve, and I guarantee I will do my best to make this channel better for everyone who stumbles in here. Now on with the video. Hello and welcome, I am the Anonymous Weeb here to review Chapter 92 of Chainsaw Man in all its depressing glory. Starting off not where the previous chapter left us, but rather with Kishibe leading Denji and surprisingly Kobani into a room, underground, looking like a one-room flat or hotel room. I honestly thought Kobani was dead already, given how she was in the vicinity when the fighting began. I just concluded she died in the clash. But I'm glad she isn't, because Denji and Kishibe are going to need as much help as they can get in order to make it through this whole thing. But no, she still has more suffering to endure before she can meet her end, and for some reason is being kept around by the author for whatever cruel reason he has. At this point I wouldn't put it past him to just have this end up as a sort of cruel joke, another character for us to begin falling in love with, only to have them axed off at the most emotional point. We already know he is not afraid of killing off beloved characters for an emotional moment and for shock value, so he might just be building her up as an important character, so it hurts all the more later when she is brutally and violently murdered. So as the three of them enter into the room, a room which has almost nothing in it except for a small TV sat on top of a small coffee table in the corner of the room and a single comfy-looking chair. The rest of the room is completely bare except for some storage boxes piled up, devoid of any life. I wonder if this is where Kishibe normally lives, or if this is some sort of emergency panic room he has set up, because he says that they will not be caught there, at least for a while. I am curious about how Kishibe managed to get the pair of them out of Makima's warpath and bring them to this apparently secure location without being found out. All I can think of is that perhaps it has to do with one of his devil contracts. We don't know if I'm remembering correctly what devil he has a contract with, or if he even has a contract with a devil. We haven't actually seen him personally take a fight seriously yet after all. But however, they managed it, they are here now, and they need to rest while they can. As Kishibe takes his seat, he gives the pair a bag of what looks to be rolls, telling them to eat and get some sleep because they will need to get up early. Kobani asks a question which is both distressing from her point of view and curious from mine. She asks if Makima is going to kill her because of everything she has witnessed up to and including now. Kishibe tells her rather bluntly that she will, but that is what makes me wonder, why then is she still alive? Why didn't Makima kill her when she had the chance? Was it because Makima viewed her as so unimportant she did not even try to kill or take control of her? Or is this building up to something with Kobani that makes her special? As Kishibe turns on the TV and sits back into his chair, Kobani again questions him with if she will never be able to contact her family again and if that will be forever. Both questions get a rather unfazed and emotionless yes to both questions. And to Kobani, who slumps down against the wall, this is both a relief and a moment of horrifying realization. She is happy, glad to have a reason to finally cut off her family. A family who we have seen since way back in the story she does not have the best relationship with. And as Denji slumps down next to her, confused about why she is happy to cut them off and at the same time dealing with his own issues, Kishibe slumps into his chair ready to ignore them and get some rest himself. And as he sits there thinking, Denji looks over to Kobani and asks her what's up. Well gee, I don't know, maybe being threatened with death and having to go on a date with a chainsaw devil? Maybe watching everyone around her die at the hands of said chainsaw devil? That really wasn't the smartest move on Denji's part, but I guess given the situation I can let it slide. And as poor Kobani sits there visible shaking and tearing up, she explains that despite her life just being on horrible experience after another, she is still terrified of death. She looks at Denji, saying about how nice it must be to just be able to revive over and over again. I get where she is coming from, but honestly Kobani, you don't want to be able to constantly revive yourself because it just means you're going to be stuck going through the same crap with no way out. Something which Denji is quick to explain to her, his eyes still very much lost. Telling her that right now, he feels like utter crap. How everything he has ever done up to this point, every good memory, every bad memory, they were all created artificially by someone else. Because he is such a massive idiot, he didn't even notice it until he had completely messed up his life beyond repair. He further explains that, the only thing he had ever had control over was what he had for lunch that day, and even that isn't exactly true with how he has only been able to choose from what he has been given. Saying that even if he survives this, he will just end up as someone else's dog, a callback to Makima calling him her dog and him saying he wanted to be her dog. And Kobani tells him that is only normal, it is normal to just do what you're told, keep your head down and not rock the boat. That's depressing. It's true in a lot of cases. Those that go out and start causing trouble tend not to last long out in the big wide world, gaining a reputation as a troublemakers. But that being said, just doing what you are told all the time, it's not going to make you happy, and there is limits to what you can and can't be told to do. Believing it only to be a dream that you can just do whatever you want, Kobani places her head into her hands and pulls her knees up into her chest. Denji looks at her with his usual loose but also depressed expression, something which has become more and more prevalent over the last 10 or so chapters since the death of Aki. This has really become a story about drowning in the depths of despair. And as Kobani asks him if he wants to be normal, Denji catches sight of the TV and hears a news report going on about how everyone loves Chainsaw Man. And as he stares into the screen taking it all in, we get a comment by the narrator about love being sent over the TV. Seems like Denji is seeing an alternative to the future Kobani was presenting to him. But with that all said and done, have a nice day or night wherever you are, and don't forget to celebrate your fandom and the anime community.